Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iFive for the iPhone is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
This episode of iFive for the iPhone is brought to you by Rackspace, the open cloud company. At Rackspace, build what you want, where you want, and how you want, all backed by their world-renowned fanatical support. Try it today. Download the open cloud at rackspace.com/open. Hello, everyone. Do you know what time it is? Why, it's time for episode 31 of iFive for the iPhone. There's nothing really very cool about the number 31, but this is going to be a very cool show. I got my Acre coffee here, and it's going to get me through it, so stick with me, kid. We're going to do fine. I'm Sarah Lane, and this is the Fine program, where you pick 5 of the best iPhone apps, news, tips, and tricks, and pass the goodies along to you. Brian, roll the graphic. Number 1. So everybody's favorite private social network Path got a big update just in time for South by Southwest. That's the interactive festival in Austin, Texas, that a ton of geeks go to every year and tends to be a good testing ground for new apps and features. Path, of course, is the social network that limits you to 150 friends and encourages us to share the more intimate moments of our lives with the people we really care about. So, what's new in version 3? Messaging. Much like Facebook has a private messaging component that acts a lot like texting, Path now allows me to message one or more of my friends who also use the app. It works well. Path has also introduced a collection of stickers to send within messages. A few are free, but most are in-app purchases. Smart on Path's part to start getting some money out of all of us, especially because the stickers are really cute and I spent $4 without even trying. You can also go into the new Path shop to see all the wonderful things that Path would like you to purchase. Stickers for messaging and filters for photos and videos. However, I would also like to talk about what I don't like. Path now allows me to message anyone, not just my friends and them, me as well. There are people on Path I'm not friends with that I don't want to hear from. I assume this is because Path wants people to have richer engagement tools and therefore be less likely to forget about using Path. But giving people messaging tools to communicate with other people that don't want to see them or hear from them, want to avoid them, that seems like a big mistake to me. In fact, I'd like the ability to block people outright on Path. If there's someone you're not crazy about, who shares a few mutual friends with you, and smiles or comments on everything, like they're in your face all the time, not very private. I will say, though, that Path is by far the best designed app on my iPhone. They have great designers. They really go the extra mile with the little details. So it's a fun update. There's lots of new functionality, but for a private network, I'd like a little more privacy, Path. Number 2, got a little tip from Chris in Amsterdam. He writes, if you want a faster way of clearing out your most recently used apps from the iPhone's app switcher, you don't have to tap just one of the little red minus signs. You can actually tap 2 at a time. I haven't found the dexterity to tap 3 at once, but if you click 2 right at the same time, you can clear apps out faster than one by one. Okay, yeah, I tried it. It works. Let me ask you all this. Are we all in that big of a hurry to kill all those apps just sitting there? My answer is no, not really. But if you feel like you gotta clear your multi-app list twice as fast and your fingers aren't too fat, then Chris has your solution. Thanks, buddy. Number 3. Are you a marketer or a contractor or a designer or someone else who sends professional invoices while you're out and about on the go and want to also accept payments via invoices? If so, you might really like an app called WePay. It's very much a Square or a PayPal competitor, but instead of swiping someone's card using a little dongle that attaches to your iPhone, WePay's app is centered around more of a niche area, allowing small businesses who send invoices to be able to accept credit cards within the app. I actually do freelance work here and there outside of Twit, and this is the kind of tool that does come in handy. The interface is easy to navigate. To charge a customer, you enter a total, you input the credit card information, you fill out your own bank details, and you get yourself paid. Throwing together a new invoice is easy, as choosing the customer, due date, and then adding information you know that they'll want. Both invoicing and credit card processing cost 2.9% plus a 30-cent per transaction fee, and all cards are accepted. Check it out if you think WePay will help your business, or tell somebody who might benefit as well. Besides transaction costs, the app is free. Cloud computing, cloud computing, cloud computing. That's all I hear about these days. You probably feel the same way, but not all cloud providers are the same. You've got those cloud proprietary technologies. That makes it expensive and complicated when you want to move your data if you ever want to leave. You don't want that headache. What you want is an open cloud solution built on open standards. Rackspace is the open cloud company that co-founded OpenStack and now runs the world's largest open cloud. That means you're not locked into a single provider. Very important. You have the freedom to move your apps, your code, your websites between multiple OpenStack-based clouds, public or private, on-premise or hosted. Build what you want, where you want, and how you want, all backed by their world-renowned fanatical support. Try it today. Download the Open Cloud at Rackspace.com/open. That's Rackspace.com/open. And thanks to Rackspace for their support of iFive for the iPhone. Numero cuatro. So everybody's got a fitness tracker these days. I had a Jawbone up for a while, and then I had a Nike Fuel. I have a Fitbit I've never actually taken out of the box. The problem is, I don't seem to stick with any of this wearable technology. It's very cool, but then the hardware breaks or I forget to put it on, and then it doesn't matter anymore because I'm so behind. You know what I never forget, though? This guy or girl. I haven't really decided what gender it is yet, but it's my iPhone. It's always with me. It's always with me, whether I go to the gym or I'm on a walk or I'm going from point A to point B. It's either in my pocket or it's in a bag or a purse that I'm carrying with me. So why not use my iPhone to track my activity throughout the day? Well, actually I can with a free app called Moves. M-O-V-E-S. Moves is super easy to use. You just start moving around and it'll keep track of your progress. By tapping an activity button, you get a steps count, a minutes tally, and overall miles when you get to that point. Friends who use Moves at the gym tell me that it does pretty well discerning between treadmill and bike. That's something that some of the wearable technology I've tried in the past doesn't do very well. I did a few tests with various bags over my shoulder with my iPhone inside and found it wasn't always totally precise on how many steps I'd walked, but it was definitely in the range. It was close enough. If you've never gotten into fitness tracking, Moves is a perfect entry into paying attention to your activity levels because you don't have to buy anything extra, and as long as your beloved little iPhone stays on your person, it'll do all the work for you. And maybe you'll be motivated to take that nice long walk too, to the donut store. Finally, number 5. Let's have some fun with numbers. Seriously, it's going to be fun. Barry wrote in and asked if we'd heard of an app called Amount, like the amount of a total, where you provide a number and it gives you every conversion that you could ever think of. I had not heard of it, so I downloaded it. It's 99 cents, but this app is awesome. You literally put in any unit of measurement and Amount will calculate that number a million different ways. Okay, not a million, but many different ways. Did you know that in cooking, 4 cups equals 22.543 jiggers? Or that 100 megapascals is just over 75,000 inches of mercury? Okay, there are practical uses too. I find recipes from all over the internet. I'm always picking up recipes, and sometimes they use the metric system. It's very confusing. So I actually use cooking conversions all the time. And of course, there's currency conversions for when you're traveling or you're just curious as to how far your money is going to stretch when you go down to Sydney in the summer. Amount works really well. It's very simple to use. And for something as dry as number conversion, it actually manages to look pretty nice too. Thanks for watching this episode of iFive for the iPhone, everybody. If you'd like to auto-download the show every week, and believe me, it's probably the easiest way to watch, just hit the subscribe button at twit.tv/iFive. That's where you can catch up on past episodes and find links to our featured apps, tips, and tricks too. Email us questions, tips, and app ideas to iFive@twit.tv. Leave us a voicemail at 614 on iFive, or send us a video with an app review of your own. Don't be shy. I'll love it. Unless I don't. I'm Sarah Lane, and I'll see you next week on iFive.